Hello and welcome to Fruitful Trees. And I want to show you what I just did. Hopefully it's not a mistake. We'll see what happens. But basically, a couple of months ago, I was looking for another space. And this is what it comes down to when you have a small yard and you only have limited space, what you can do. So I was looking for some space to move a tree, an avocado tree over here. And I had a Monroe avocado tree. And I ended up creating this space here for my Monroe avocado tree. And then I got a Maria avocado tree, a Maria B, and I put the Maria B over there. And this is the stuff that goes on in my mind all day. And then, so I found out that Maria B avocado was more of a dwarfer avocado, which will still grow 15 feet or so, but the Monroe is a much bigger avocado. So I had to make a decision on what I was going to do. Well, I was here with my Monroe and I looked up and there's wires there. All those wires are about maybe 12 feet. And I was recently at Leaf's house and he had a Maria B avocado trimmed back and it looked really nice. And it was just up to the roof of the house. So it might have been about 10 feet. And since it's a more dwarfer variety, I said, I want to move that here. And now these both have been in the ground for about 6 months. And then what I did is I wanted to move, which was a much bigger space available, to put the Monroe here. And I think I'm gonna give myself a new unwritten rule of not moving anything once it's in the ground, because I do that way too much. My neighbor has a lot more fruit than I do on his trees. We planted them at the same time, but I moved mine around to try to accommodate things like that I wasn't thinking of when I planted them. Anyway, I did the switch. When I pulled up the Maria avocado and moved it here, it wasn't bad. I got a lot of roots and everything else. The Monroe avocado, the roots were deeper. I pulled it out. A lot of dirt came off. You know, I'm watering it as much as I can, but I got it in the ground. It's looking pretty decent. This is it. I'm not moving trees anymore. So of all the trees in my yard, and I think about what I've moved, it's not double-mindedness. It's just, I didn't know I was going to have more land to plant at one point, so I stuck everything here. Then when I got more, I moved some mangoes over there. And I just spoke to Mike from Trees and More, and he says, look, once he puts something in the ground, even if it's in a worse space, he's leaving it in the ground till it dies. And that might not be the worst advice. So just to show you of the trees that I have and I've moved over the years, besides these two, you know, and there are some here. I once had a longing here, and I moved along. I actually got rid of the longing. I love longing, but it's just a big tree, and I didn't justify the space, and I put a Rolina here, which I wanted. At the time, I only had that spot. I had a giant lychee here. A giant lychee took up this whole area, really super big. And it was only fruited every other year, which was delicious, but not the best fruit. And for every other year for a small yard, it just wasn't as productive as I would have liked. So by moving the lychee, I was able to I have a Dunkin' avocado, a Dunkin' mango there. I have the now Maria Black here avocado. I have a sugar apple there. I took this sugar apple out, and I'm actually putting in a jackfruit. I'm able to have a jackfruit over there and also an avocado over there, just because I was able to take that tree out. A lot of bananas I've taken out. This whole row in the back was just all bananas, and I've taken the bananas out and just given more room and more sunshine for these to grow. You know, a lot of different people do a lot of different things a lot of different ways, but I'm just doing my best to get things situated here and learn as I'm moving along of what's going to be best. And there's some challenges when you have a yard versus having a big farm, you know, and in certain neighborhoods there's even more challenges. So Leaf, who's a house I was at the other day, he can keep a whole bunch of potted trees in his front yard, and he's on that type of street where he has nothing to worry about. He's in that type of area. My area, it wouldn't go too well if it was like his, with all those potted trees in the front. And even the fruit trees, I have to be selective of the trees I put up front. And it just goes to show there's a lot more involved than just planting a tree and putting it in the ground for strategic future consideration. My thing right now is I'm just filling you guys in on some of the things that are going on here that I'm pondering. I have this jackfruit, this big jackfruit tree. It's been in the ground for maybe 5 years. Nothing on it, no jackfruit on it. And my drain field is here. And as you can see, I'm trying to keep everything away from my drain field trees-wise so the roots don't mess up the drain system. Well, the tree's roots will go out as far as the tree canopy. And the canopy of this tree is leaning over my drain field. So that means the roots are leaning out also. I'm about to cut this down. And my neighbor said, just give it 1 more year to see if it does anything. If it does, you can create a barrier not to get in the drain field. But this is probably going to go. I'm more in a mode now, even though I'm getting more trees, and I'm starting to consider doing some more potted trees. Unless I get more land, I'm more in the mode now of actually getting rid of trees. I'm getting rid of bananas because they're just shading things out and taking some space. I'm realizing some of the things might get into the drain field, like the jackfruit, so I'm about to take that out. And there, if there's fruit I don't like, I'm taking that out, and not even looking to always replace them. Just trying to figure it out. And for here, I didn't even have a spot here, and I was able to put a spot here for this tree. So I think this is a good spot for the Maria Black. I think the Monroe's good there. I'm taking a chance by taking it out of ground. They were all in the ground for about 6 months, so we'll see what happens with those. Hopefully it'll be okay. I moved trees before. Of all the trees I've moved, I've been pretty successful with them, but I have lost a couple in the process. And then sometimes somebody will give me a tree that's too big to be potted, and I still want it. So like the Pickering I showed you the other day, and I moved it to another spot. But something like that, you got nothing to lose. That, you had something to lose. But in pondering this, I just thought it's still about a 7 to 15 gallon tree of a Monroe. I like this spot better for this. If it works, great. If not, it's not difficult to get a new tree. You don't want to have to do that, but you can, a Monroe avocado tree. The Maria is a little bit more difficult to get, so I was skeptical of moving it. That would have been a nice spot for it, but we'll see how it does here. I've tasted the Monroe, tasted the Maria, but they're both, I like them both. So what I tried to do originally was I had all mangoes here, but I realized this is all irrigation here, and some trees like to grow better on irrigation, like the jackfruit, the mamey, and the avocados. So I moved my mangoes to the other yard, just moving. And now I have this is a Simmons avocado, and we'll see how they do. And but slowly but surely, I see myself getting rid of a lot of the bananas and even papayas, and filling a lot of things up with stuff that I want to be more permanent. And I also, when I do buy, I try to buy stuff that's more dwarf. So this is a dwarf mamey. So I try to do stuff like that as well. That's called a pumpkin mamey, which is more of a dwarf mamey. So those are some of the things that are growing on here. I also have this Catalina here that I really like, a good spot. Just trying to find the best spot for these places, and sometimes it works out wonderful. Look at this. That was that. All right. Well, anybody, I just wanted to share with you what's on my mind and the things I ponder about. All right. Have a great day, everybody, and keep growing.